HarperCollins presents Docile, Memoirs of a Not-So-Perfect Asian Girl, written and read by Hyeseung Song.
For Omma and Appa. Part 1. A Magical Sounding Place. Chapter 1. The billboard rose above the highway in a seduction, in a command. Come home to a Royalton custom home, exit 114, emblazoned against a rendering of a red brick house surrounded by fresh, fulsome trees and astroturf. The windows and the shutters glinted with stars, indicating cleanness and newness, and it worked. The windows beckoned to me. "That's what Crystal looks like," I gasped from the back seat of the car, never having seen Crystal. I was 5. The Cutlass veered off at exit 114, and my excitement rose as we drove down the long, thin road to the development where a few months earlier my parents had made a down payment and ground had been broken on our custom home. That day, as it had been the Sundays previous, the slip of road was lined with anemic red balloons tied to stakes in the ground and punching up against each other in the wind. We stopped at a trailer before a line of model homes, and I leapt out. From here into the mid-distance ran flattened fields from which grasses sprouted in brown blotches. In the background, far away, hung the quilt of the sky, a thin wash of cobalt. A jagged swath of sugar cane swayed across the land, owned by the Imperial Sugar Company for which Sugarland, that sweet and magical-sounding town, was named. Although this patch of Texas looked nothing like the highway billboard advertising civilization and completion, possibility required imagination, as Appa liked to say, and none of it, not even the hollow plain, felt ugly. In the landscape's rough-hewn contours, I located hope. My mother stepped out of the car with Arthur, who was born a year earlier and had just celebrated his Tol. On his birthday, she had dressed him up in a hanbok and made a mountain of food, and objects were laid out in front of him: a pencil, a $100 bill, a piece of string. Appa prodded from the sidelines, "Choose money, big money!" But like a little Buddha, from the height of his high chair, my brother selected simply and clutched at the string, and our father had to alter his tone, conceding quietly, "Long life is good, too." We were there to make some final selections. The lady from the Custom Homes Company sat with us in a climate-controlled trailer, and the Poland Springs coolers behind her gurgled. Omma patted the space next to her, and I ran up to a book the size and thickness of a wedding album and paged through the samples with her hand on my shoulder. The lady's disapproving eyes rested on me. She wasn't used to having her customers include their children in serious deliberations, especially an Oriental. I had known that word for as long as I could remember, knew it rang in the woman's mind now, and saw, in her empty stare, that she thought nothing of me and did not see me, not because I was a child, but because I was that kind of child, an invisible one. "Hyeseung, 공주?" "Princess," Omma called me in Korean. "What do you like for the wallpaper?" I pressed up against her body, which was still slim despite the hypothyroidism she developed when pregnant with me in Korea. The warm light from the lamp above spread like water down her dark hair, which she wore parted in the middle and caught behind her ears. Her refined face was made soulful by a long, straight nose and big eyes like blinking saucers. I looked like her, too, big, blinking saucers in a small, round child head set jauntily on a short neck. I blinked at the Custom Homes lady, and her eyes, fringed with mascara, blinked back at me. "I like the flowers, Omma," I replied in Korean so as to wall out the blinking lady, and turned the page to a pattern of small tulips. I knew to say I liked the flowers because Omma liked flowers more than anything, and even then, I was trying to please. "Yes, this is nice and quiet." And Omma stroked my hair, nicely and quietly. "If the pattern is too busy, it'll look garish and give me a headache." I smiled. I was happy I had said the correct answer, and that the choice would be made on her side. In the arenas my mother wielded power, I meant her to have it. Omma and I chose the color of the exterior of the house,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?